Well, you know I had to come back for this one. Avengers Endgame is directed by the Russo brothers. It stars all your favorite MCU superheroes. I don't feel like I need to name them. You already know who they are. The film takes place right after the events of Infinity War, where Thanos succeeds his mission of the snap and wipes out half the population of the entire galaxy. We see our heroes down and out and in defeat, trying to think of a way to try to make things right and fix what Thanos has done. See how vague that plot is? That's how they want to keep it. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, a lot more complex. The running time for this film is 3 whole hours and 2 minutes to boot. It's a lot of movie. And it is the culmination of all 22 films. The introduction with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the original Avengers. Takes us back to the root of where it all began, making this a conclusion, a closing of the chapter of what we like to call the Infinity Saga. Not to say that there won't be any more Marvel movies. I'm sure we got plenty of Marvel movies coming our way with Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Man 2. But I'm gonna keep things super vague because we don't want to spoil it. We don't want to put no spoilers out there for nobody that hasn't seen this movie yet. Let's be fair to everybody, right? But does the movie pull it off? A lot of franchises, they start out strong and they whittle out and they crash and burn at the landing. Hell yes. This film is literally packed to the brim with subplot, character development, even the ones on the side like Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, and even Karen Gillan's Nebula. They all have big parts to play. And where the story goes, as vague as the marketing has been, people probably won't see it coming for a lot of characters. Now that can turn people off, people accept it. I went with it. I think it kind of makes sense. At first it kind of was just like, whoa, where is this headed? But once you actually digest it and take it all in, 99.9% works. Infinity War was an incredibly dark film, that one movie where the bad guy actually wins. The one thing I will say is do not compare this film to Infinity War. It is a completely different film, which probably was such a big challenge for the Russo brothers filming this back to back, completely changing in tone, the type of scale that this movie has. I mean, Infinity War was like here, and this movie scale is like bam. What these guys have done not only is offer us big, great spectacle, but they understand the characters, especially when it comes to Captain America and Iron Man. I mean, they started out with Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and they got their chance of actually working with Iron Man in Civil War. But then they started working on these Avengers flicks, and they've taken things to another level that I feel Joss Whedon probably couldn't have reached. Not to say that I don't love Joss Whedon, because that first one is amazing, but I always loved the direction the Russo brothers took its characters. Another two people we gotta give a lot of credit to are Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, the writers of both Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, to really give them a sense of purpose, sense of direction, sense of stakes, a sense of humanity, which really helps the performances, especially for Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Now, there are a lot of characters in this film, but I do believe that the movie belongs strictly to those two. The two have kind of become the heart and soul of the franchise, especially in this Infinity Saga. And boy, do they knock it out of the park. As far as Thanos, I believe that he probably didn't leave as much of an impact in this film like he did in Infinity War. I believe that in Infinity War, he was the actual real lead of that film. In this one, it's the original Avengers, especially Iron Man and Captain America. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't fantastic. He delivers another great performance that helps show what kind of a tyrant he really can be. Now, I'm not gonna go into specific details about this film, but I will say that it brings in a lot of fan service of the past films in a very good way. There are great cameos, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of nods that you can't help but notice. You're gonna love them. It's gonna be a real ride of a film. Now, there are 3 very different acts in this film. One where the characters are lost, one where they regain a sense of hope and purpose, and the big whopping finale. And let me tell you, that finale, talk about throwing everything in the kitchen sink. And you know me, I'm always gonna say go for that big top tier premium quality theater. But I'm telling you people, it is shot in IMAX. It is filmed in IMAX. It needs to be seen in IMAX. You're gonna be noticing every little thing, especially on that third act. That third act is gonna bring in everything it's got from every MCU film. You have no idea. This is the blockbuster of all blockbusters. The question that I have is, how is Marvel going to top this, but bring a box of Kleenex because you're gonna be getting in your feels for this film. It's just such a bittersweet experience to be watching all the past movies that you loved and being pointed out, being reminisced, having this being the final chapter of such a long saga, 22 films. Lord of the Rings was an achievement in itself with those 3 films. Harry Potter is an achievement in itself with, I believe it was like 9 films. This was 22. 22! Marvel has achieved something that I believe probably can't be beat. It remains to be seen. Everyone's gonna have a great time. It's dark when it needs to be. It's sad when it needs to be. It's action-packed when it needs to be. It's funny when it needs to be. Talk about the most crowd-pleasing, heavy, complex, summer blockbuster film of the year. Now, there are flaws here and there in this movie. This movie isn't perfect, but I'm willing to brush all of that because of the achievement and the fun and the grand spectacle of things. What rating am I gonna give it? Well, I don't know. Well, shut up. You know what I'm gonna give it. 5 damn stars out of 5. You're damn right. Go watch this movie. You're probably gonna wanna watch it a number of times. Go watch it in the biggest screen possible. IMAX, IMAX 3D, Dolby, whichever, it's the right choice. Well, once again, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, click like at the bottom. We got more videos coming your way. Once again, this is Ray from Livewire. Thanks for watching.